your power, let me repeat this, your power is in choosing selectively what you're going to do. Your power is using your mind and the belief in you to create that lifestyle, that business, as if it's a blank canvas, and you create that vision, and then you determine what the plan is or what the path is to get there. And that's really important, because what I want to do is ask you, what do you want to create? Because if you don't spend the time really thinking about this, it's going to be hard to not fall prey to, and I say that because our brains are sneaky, to, and I am guilty of this as well. Like, I think this is, you're only human if you do this. You look at what other people are doing, maybe someone you aspire to be like, and then you go, okay, I'm going to reverse engineer what they're doing, their exact funnel, their exact emails, and I'm just going to try and do that. Or I'm going to hire that person to be my coach and pay them lots of money to help. And that could be a path to get there, but I want to put the brakes on for a minute, because I have to think about this a lot. I get coached by this because often we have 360 degrees of ways to turn with this online marketing thing, or your business, or your coaching business, or your service-based business, your product-based business, to make money. And we think about what the goal is. We sometimes chase money. Okay, I want to make 10K a month. So we chase that money, and we buy and we invest a lot of money in someone's course. And then maybe you realize, is that really what I want? Like, I wanted 10K, but was that the path to it? I emulated that person because she talked about, she had a really good sales page about how I'm going to help you make a whole shitload of money, right? And then you buy it, and then maybe you're struggling. This is where I'm getting to here. Maybe you're struggling, or you're not happy with how your existing business is doing, despite spending month after month, maybe year after year, trying to get it going or trying to get it off the ground. And may I propose a very bold thought for you to think about? Is this you? Not some guru, not someone who you read a sexy email from. Is this you that crafted that end result of that dream vision? Do I really want to have a Shopify store that sells $20 products? Like, maybe I'm passionate about this, but if my goal is to make $100,000 a month, because no word of a lie, I just had a conversation with a potential client about this, is that Shopify store going to be the vehicle to make $100,000 a month? I'm not saying yes or no. That's you to answer, right? What do I need to do then to get that? And so I want to come back full circle to, I'm going to get a little woo-woo with you here about the universe and what you can create as if you have the blank canvas in front of you. My mom's an artist, and it's really interesting because sometimes when she goes to paint something, and right behind me is a painting of hers, this one's called Cityscapes. And one of the things that she's always said to me, and when I ask her, well, what motivates you? Like, she's won awards, by the way. Like, she's won all these awards. Her art's kind of displayed all over the world, and my goodness, she's 85 years old, everyone, and she still paints every day, okay? She does yoga every day, too. It's incredible. But so I'm so proud of her. But I asked her, what motivates you? What do you know you're going to create? You know, when you have a painting like this one behind me, and I've got other ones, I should have had them prepared to show you, but some people know her dragonfly inspirational paintings as well. They're bold, they're vivid, you see whatever you want to see in it, and it's incredible. And she actually says, Maria, it intuitively comes to me. I don't have this exact plan of, well, where I'm going to, put the blue and put the red on the canvas and put the yellow, but what I do know is that the end result is I want something vibrant. I want something, a piece of art or painting, original painting, that exudes energy. And isn't that interesting? Because the end result is still a gorgeous painting, like you see behind me. And maybe I'll even adjust it a bit so you can see it fully. See, that's the full painting. No, I'll move back a bit so you can see me, but it's kind of a weird perspective now. But if you're watching on video, if you're listening to the podcast, you're going, what is she doing? But anyways, this painting, by the way, is just full of vibrant colors, red, blues, yellows, pinks, and kind of squares. And she called it Cityscapes. Let me repeat that. She called it Cityscape, but she didn't go into her art room, get the blank canvas out, paint out, and going, I'm going to create cityscapes. She didn't know fully what the end result, that like the path would be, but she knew that it was going to be a painting that gave her joy. It gives other people joy when they use it. I happen to, the reason why I bought it and have it is because it gives me joy. It gives me energy. So what I'm trying to say is, a lot of us chase the money and go, I want to make 10K a month, or I want to make 100K a month, or I want to have $1 million business. And listen, nothing wrong with that goal. That's great. Like feel why you want to create that. But most importantly, please have belief in yourself. And now I'm going to go into some tools you can use to push up that belief in yourself, to follow and create, not necessarily follow, but create that vision that you want. Like, I have some questions that I want to ask you to answer. Like, what business do you really want to be in? Who do you want to serve? And I don't mean get caught up in niche drama. Like, a lot of people think, okay, I got to select a certain niche because this girl told me to do it. So I must only sell to teachers who are about to retire, or I must sell to only, men. Like when I used to sell, these kind of bracelets, I must only sell to men. And here's some more bracelets here. My Shopify store I started that got to $1,000 a day in sales. Before I sold it, I loved it. And so it was like I had 2 clients. Like, I had women between 40 and 60 years old that liked yoga. But then funny enough, some of the more manly bracelets with hematite or with tiger's eye, I had a clientele from 25 to 35 years old that bought it, right? I wouldn't know at the time that was the type of person I was selling to, but then I started to enjoy it. And so I added that on. Okay, here's the 2 types of people I'm selling to. And it wasn't necessarily, okay, that man has to work for an advertising company and gone to an Ivy League school and I'm going to target those people on Facebook. No. So you don't, sometimes if you don't know what your exact niche is, the exact person you sell to, stop the mind drama. Just start selling your offer that in the last episode, you worked on some exercise to have absolute belief in, as if you're giving someone a $100 bill and they're giving you $50. But I want you to think about the belief in you to make sure you're on the right path, if that's the offer you really want to sell. Because here's an important question that my coach even asked me. Maria, how do we create offers? Think about that for a minute. Can you answer that to me? How do we create offers? Powerful question, because you might say, well, I look at what someone else is writing. I do a competitive analysis, like a typical MBA kind of analysis, and I see, okay, these 3 people have similar courses to me or similar coaching services to me. I'm going to offer something like that. But is that coming from your brain, your thoughts, and what's going on in your mind and your thoughts help create your decisions? Let me repeat that. What's going on in your mind and your thoughts help you create your decisions. Your decisions help create your offer. Now, of course, your offer should have some kind of result and a value or benefit to whoever's buying it from you. And regardless of what it is, whether it's a how to lose weight service, whether it's an information product, a digital product, how to, get better sleep, whether it's, how to create an information course in 4 hours or less with one of my former products, or whether it's like a coaching service, right? Where you really help someone design their life, their human potential. So how do we create offers? When you really think about, the seed of it is in your mind. And if you give that power away to someone else, you may end up maybe making that money, maybe making that $1 million. Like, I've done that. I've made $1 million in 90 days in a launch. I've created multi-million-dollar companies. But the thing is, sometimes it was because, someone told me, that's your biggest opportunity, Maria, go do that. And I went and did it. And then once you get that $1 million, are you really happy? Is that the canvas that you wanted to paint? And maybe you needed to do that to get confidence in yourself, and I get it. But now, hopefully you're at a stage, or don't make the mistakes I made. Sit down, blank piece of paper, pen or paper in hand, not on your computer. There's a power when you actually do this with pen and paper, okay? And you actually write out, what business do I want to create? You have the blank canvas in front of you. You have unlimited potential in front of you. And now, to boost yourself up, I promised you I'd give you some tools in this particular episode, because I'm going back to that holy trinity of belief there. You got to have belief in yourself, belief in your offer, and belief in your potential customer or client to get results, and you're their biggest cheerleader, right? So when someone gets coached by me, like, I'm their biggest cheerleader in the corner for them. Like, they can borrow my belief, because I know, for them, they're going to get and achieve their dream lifestyle that they painted the canvas of, and I help them paint that canvas. All right. And sometimes it might mean blowing up the business you have. I know that's scary. Blowing up the business you have to go after that vision that you painted yourself on the canvas, right? Because you have that power. So here's some exercises I want you to do. I want you to, with also your pen and paper out hand, besides writing out what business do I really want, who do I really want to serve? It can just be like the type of person, right? Like for me, I want to serve someone who wants to impact other people, that wants to help people. I want to serve someone that actually maybe believes in the woo-woo. Maybe they do yoga. Maybe they do meditation. Maybe they have some crystals like my big citron, crystal behind me, right? So I attract a certain person. Maybe they do have or don't have a college or university education. At the end of the day, they probably love animals. I have a puppy. Some of you know my puppy experiences over the last week and a half. So notice how I didn't say, okay, they have to be a former software engineer that worked at, some of the companies I worked at, Deloitte & Touche, Price Waterhouse, Computer Sciences Corp. No, didn't say that. I just kind of defined the qualities or the type of people, So I hope that helped you with your mind drama. So I want you to write that down. Who are the type of people you want to help? And then here's where the exercises of belief in you come in, okay? I want you to, and this is really, really important, I want you to do a confidence exercise. I want you to write down 3 things, even when you were a kid, 3 things you're proud of that you did, that you felt so amazing, right? Like for me, I know I was really proud to, I had a paper route and I went door to door and sold, it's not sold, but deliver the papers. And then I have to go collect the cash. Like this is, I'm aging myself here, but I had to knock door to door and collect the cash. And I'd be so excited when I got a dime. That's right, a dime as a tip. Sometimes at Christmas time you get $1 or $5 and I'd come home and I'm like, Mom, Dad, look, someone gave me $5 for a little Christmas tip for my little paper route, right? And by the way, Mom or Dad, if you're listening to this, thank you so much. In the cold, hard Canadian harsh winters, some mornings my mom would actually help me and drive. She would drive her little car, I'd be in the car, and then I'd go out to each door and deliver the paper, come back in the car, we'd drive to the next house. Because it's cold, y'all, up here in Canada. I know if you're listening to this, maybe wherever you live, it gets cold too in your winter time. But at any rate, the point is, I was really proud of that paper route. I had a responsibility when I was a kid, and I saved up that cash, and I bought things that I wanted. Okay, this is getting geeky here. But I actually went and paid cash $1,000 to buy a stock when I was I think 13 years old. I walked into my dad's stockbroker office. Back then we didn't have the internet, didn't exist. We didn't have computers where you could just open up a America Trade account or a TD Bank trade account and buy stocks virtually. I walked in with cash and the stockbroker looked at me and said, we don't really take cash. But he did that for me. I suppose I could have given it to my dad and, got a check. But anyway, I was just so proud of that moment. So right now, like if I were to write down 3 things I'm proud of, I'd write that down. I want you to do that. Write down, 3 of your proud moments, whether it be now, whether it be when you're a kid, right? Like my other proud moment is obviously making, this one's not about money. This is about when I got some email from some of my clients, and this is about maybe, 7 years ago or so. I got some, maybe it was 10 years ago. I got one particular email I'll always remember, and if you're listening to this, you know who you are. Where someone said, because of you, Maria, I listened to your stuff. Thank you for having all these webinars. I was on the verge of committing suicide, and you gave me hope. And that email was just so, it made everything else, all problems of running a business, because we all have that stress, just melt away. Because when I read that, I went, wow, like I had no idea that I was impacting someone in that way. And you probably don't know that either. You probably don't know, maybe that email you wrote, even if you only have 10 people on your list, even if you have 1% on your list, you probably don't realize how much you could be impacting that person, right? And I want you to think about that I guarantee you that whatever you're doing, whether it's who you talk to, what a free social media post you make, whether it's an email you send out, whether it's a Facebook Live you do, or a video, that you do, or a podcast like this that you do, I guarantee you that you're impacting 10 times more the people than you think you are. I want you to really write that down right now. So I'm giving all these tools that actually help you with your self-confidence and belief in you, that you are impacting 10 times more people. So write that down. I am impacting 10 times more people than I thought I was. So let's say your email list is, I don't know how big your email list. Let's just use an easy number. Say it's 100 people. So then write down, I'm impacting 1,000 people. right? And the other thing I want you to think about, so I want you to write 3 things down that you're proud of, and then when you look at those 3 things, now I want you to feel how that feels like. So for instance, for me, how does that feel when I read that email from that woman that just, I threw a lifeboat or what do you call it, life rafter or whatever that round thing is called, I forget now. If I step into how I feel, I'm going to close my eyes right now. And if I step into how I feel when I read that email, I just felt so grateful for the world, grateful for the gifts that God gave me, grateful that I had the freaking guts to show up and broadcast my own brilliance. You all have brilliance inside of you, and when you broadcast your brilliance, whether it be through an email, maybe it's words, maybe it's video, maybe it's a podcast audio, maybe it's just meeting people live. I know it's hard now during COVID, but maybe it's when you meet people. You often underestimate how many people you're impacting. So I want you to say, I am impacting 10 times more people than I thought I was. I say if you have a video and you see that you had 10 video views, just say, I'm impacting 100 people. All right, that's really important. Okay, so that's 2 exercises, right? I'm impacting 10 times more people than I thought I was. Write down 3 things that you're really proud of. Feel how it feels in each of those instances, because you can bring that feeling into whatever you're doing now, okay? Third thing for belief in yourself, and some of you may have heard this, is repeat. Go read testimonials that people have sent you, right? I know I talked about that in the last episode, but I'm going to say it again, because that's kind of a confidence booster in yourself, okay? So then belief in you, I have to say this, confidence versus competence, right? How do you get to almost unconscious competence of who you are, what you do, so it becomes natural? And honestly, it's practice. No one's going to come out of the gate being perfect, and it's practice being imperfectly perfect. It's practice being, here's where it comes, are you ready for it? Being okay to fail. All right, taking that risk, right? I just can't stress that enough, that, the whole purpose of this podcast, It's Okay to Fail, is, especially as an entrepreneur, or especially just as a human being, that if we are scared and we hide in a cave, and we all do that sometimes, or you have shame, you're trying to get over from the past, or something you did that you're guilty, feeling guilty about. And because that's happened to me, I've had something that's caused shame and, what I brought upon my family and my relationships. And I had to get past that, bust through the fear of failure again, because then if you don't, you're stuck. You'll always be stuck and struggling if you can't bust through and be okay with facing the fear and busting through the fear of, maybe I will fail again, but at least you're moving forward. And that's what creates confidence, is in your actions. You take action. I'm a very action-oriented person. You take action, even little micro actions, and you will start feeling more confident in yourself, right? I guarantee you, if you are selling a coaching service, if you get on 10 calls, and you might totally flub the first 3 calls, and that's okay, because maybe by that 4th one, maybe by that 7th one, then you'll close. Maybe you're going to close a $20,000 deal. Maybe you'll close a $2,000 deal. I don't know what your offer is, your price points, but what I'm trying to say is that you just do it,